Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shamach out of the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachak Wadash, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, and His only begotten Son's true name being Yahweh Shai, both in the Hebrew language, whom the world incorrectly and ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ. Also want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well and who are the true leaders of the Hebrew Israelites within these last days. Also want to give a shalom to all the sincere brothers that's pushing teaching the truth worldwide, and shalom to all you sincere believers and listeners out there. Okay, wanted to come with the lesson concerning second Esdras chapter 11, and basically proving that this has to do with the Roman Empire and not America. Okay, so this is the history and prophecy of the Roman Empire. All right, and this is all stemming off this question. I addressed the first part in my most recent video, but I didn't want to let this go too long without being untouched. So we wanted to hit the second portion of this response to this comment here, because this can't, this possibly, I mean, more than likely, of course, is not the only person that believes this. All right, but it says all of us want to know this from the Master's Harvest. All right, once again, all of us want to know where we are on God's prophetic plan. It is written in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, contains a prophecy that describes a line of American presidents, all right, which is incorrect. It's truly the line of Roman, all right, Roman rulers, Roman emperors, okay? 5 of whom are still alive, and 2 of them are being kept until the end. See, all of them are old men. The end is fast approaching. That is fact. The end is fast approaching, all right? It says, I have condensed the prophecy into a series of short lessons I give to you. Please allow me to guide you through them step by step into understanding. Blessings to you and your loved ones. All right, this is just all right. Let me go to the timeline that was shown here. Let me mute that. All right. Basically, of him touching on, that second Esdras. All right, chapter 11. Okay. So yeah. Here it is. So you see the second Esdras chapter 11 verses 1 through 19. Presidents Hoover through Clinton. All right. And when I double backed and checked on, which presidents this was, all right, I think Herbert Hoover happened to be the 31st president of the United States of America, and was that Bill Clinton? All right, I think it was the 42nd. Okay, so he chose 12. Trying to steer his way on that right track of them being 12 rulers, and he's labeling them as the 12 presidents of America. But that's not to be true. Okay, so yeah, you got Herbert Hoover through Bill Clinton and that happens to be 12 presidents. Okay, but that's not the case. All right, that's not biblically fact. Okay, so just dive right into it. 2nd Esdras chapter 11, verse 1. All right, and it reads, and this is now history, which was once prophecy. All right, so what this guy saying, the Master's Harvest, Edomite, okay, with saying that, the 2 is kept until the end. No, this prophecy has been fulfilled. Okay, so this 2nd Esdras chapter 11, verse 1. It reads, then saw I a dream. And of course, this is our forefather Esdras, okay, the Hebrew Israelite, receiving the visions of these things that were to come to pass. All right, and they have and now that we're reading upon it and understanding it, okay, they have come to pass. This is now history. Okay. Then I saw a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. And that eagle is symbolic of the Roman Empire. All right, and like we mentioned today, all right, if you listen to the Hebrew Israelites, listen and take heed to the prophecies and the understanding of the men of the Lord, okay, of the Hebrew Israelites, primarily of the branch of Great Millstone. This you would hear, or you would come across the meaning of that eagle, and basically the explanation behind the American civilization. All right, that it aligns with those same guidelines at the Roman Empire. That's why it's basically the revival, this beast system today, of which we have the alliances of the Edomite infrastructure today, is basically the revival of the Roman Empire. All right, and this eagle is symbolic of that as well. All right, it says, So yeah, this eagle is basically representation of the Roman Empire, but it's being also carried out through America. Okay, so you can so people just trying to label this entire chapter as oh, this is referring to America. No, all right, America is basically it is now America is the revival of the Roman Empire, but this particular chapter is not speaking upon America. Okay, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. All right, and that 12 feathered wings is going into 12 rulers. That's why you seen the Master's Harvest try to just randomly pick those 12 rulers. All right, 12 presidents of the United States of America, and that's not the case. Those 12 rulers are being the 12 Caesars. Okay, Wikipedia, the 12 Caesars. All right, it says commonly known as the 12 Caesars, is a set of 12 biographies of Julius Caesar and the first 11 emperors. So yeah, Julius Caesar is being the first to start that rulership, okay, or to start this period concerning the 12 feathered wings. All right, and it's listed out. Okay, it says of the Roman Empire. It says the group contains Julius Caesar. Then it goes to, this is in order: Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. All right, and its basis it goes into it gives you the time period as well, 44 BC, and it ends. This period of the 12 Caesars, their rulership ends in 96 AD. Okay, so back to 2 chapter 11. Verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which is representation of what? The Roman Empire, okay? Which had 12 feathered wings, which goes into the 12 Caesars. It says in 3 heads. The 3 heads were separate. This goes into the first triumvirate, all right? This goes into the first triumvirate. And I also want to get this other source. Let me get... I'm gonna get the first triumvirate with the 3 heads, and I'm gonna grab the Pax Romania. All right. So the first triumvirate, all right, it says the first triumvirate was an informal political alliance among 3 prominent politicians. So they're prominent. They are significant. All right, especially being mentioned in the Bible. 3 heads. All right, the first triumvirate. All right, it says is a political alliance among 3 prominent politicians in late Roman Republic. Okay, it says the Republican Constitution had many veto points. It says in order to bypass constitutional obstacles and force through the political goals of the 3 men, and that's why. And this is another point of why the men of the Lord, the prophets, all right, primarily a branch of great millstone, all right, mention and recognize and acknowledge that the system of today's society follows after the Roman Empire. Think upon the Republic, Constitution, all right, voting. All right, that wasn't always the case with prior empires. All right, think upon the Greek. You had monarchies, one rule. All right, and they had heirs. They had lineage. All right, it was followed by those lineages, man. All right, and it show you that with shows like Game of Thrones, House of Dragon. They show you that it was one ruler. All right, and it was by their lineages, by their heirs. Okay, by that bloodline. All right. But yeah, like I mentioned before, the previous rulerships, the Greeks before the Roman Empire, it was the Greek Empire. Alexander the Great, all right, the 4 generals, okay. Before the Greeks, it was the Medo-Persian Empire. You had Cyrus, King Darius, all right. Before the Medo-Persian Empire, you had the Babylonian Empire, Nebuchadnezzar, all right. So these are that's why the Roman Empire was different. It was different from the rest, and it was the most powerful. All right, it was dominant. All right, through that military might. The same likewise way that the Edomite infrastructure is today in today's time, dominant through that military might. All right, their military capabilities. All right, and they're still Edomites. But continuing on, it says in order to bypass constitutional obstacles and force through the political goals of the 3 men, they forged in secret an alliance where they promised to use their respective influence to support each other. The triumvirate was not a formal magistracy, nor did it achieve a lasting domination over state affairs. Okay, so this wasn't a minute. These weren't minute figures in this time period. The three heads. All right, they had a strong political alliance, a Roman political alliance. Okay, and they used their influence. Okay, so that's what the three heads. Oh, that's going into Salakia, Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. All right, Julius Caesar. That is. All right, you see the pictures here. Okay, so or the icons, I should say. But I also wanted to touch, or I wanted to have this held up here with the Pax Romania. Okay, which is basically Latin for Roman peace. Okay, and this is going to back up the history of 2nd Esdras chapter 11 and back up the fact of this going into the Roman Empire. All right, so the Pax Romania, which is Latin for Roman peace, is roughly a 200-year long period of Roman history, which is identified as golden age of increased and sustained Roman imperialism, relative peace and order, because they had dominance, they had power. All right, they had things under control. All right, it says prosperous stability, hegemonic power, regional expansion. This is despite several revolts and wars and continuing competition in Parthia. It is traditionally dated as commencing with the accession of Augustus, founder of the Roman Principate, in 27 BC and concluding in AD 180 with the death of Marcus Aurelius. It says, let me skip on down. It says, during this period of about 2 centuries, the Roman Empire achieved its greatest territorial extent in AD 117. Emperor Trajan and its population reached a maximum of up to 70 million people, which was around 33% of the world's population. So they had dominance. All right, this Roman Empire was serious. All right, it was the real deal. It says overview. It says the Pax Romania. It says spanning from 27 BC to 180 AD. So this period, this has to do with these 12 Caesars. All right, I didn't mean to click on that. Let me go back. This has to do with the 12 Caesars. So that Pax Romania going into Roman peace, that backs up the point of the 12 Caesars. Okay, so this is actually cuts the idea, or that debunks that ideology or that doctrine, that those teachings that this has to do with American presidents, which is false, complete false. All right, completely untrue. It says the Pax Romania spanning from 27 BC. All right, that 27 BC, you go back to the Caesars. Well, that would be the start of Augustus. All right. Yep, there it is. Look, it's right there. So it reads, he reigned as the first Roman emperor from 27 BC until his death in AD 14. So that's roughly doing the addition subtraction. That's it. Augustus' rule, all right, was about 42 years. All right, that's a great rule. All right, so this Pax Romania 27, that's referring to Augustus, even though Julius Caesar, all right, is a part of that 12 feathered wings. Okay, but it says the Pax Romania spanning from 27 BC to 180 AD stands as one of the most enduring periods of peace in the annals of civilization. All right, so this shows you how dominant the Roman Empire was. Okay, so let me grab. Let me continue. Reread verse 1 once again. Now that we went through those sources, Wikipedia sources, because the information is out there. We just have to search it out. 2nd Esdras chapter 11 verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, the Roman Empire, which had 12 feathered wings, which goes into the 12 Caesars of the Roman Empire, and the 3 heads, which goes into that Roman political alliance. All right, of Julius Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey. All right, in their political system, they were of high status. All right, those within the government, those that had authority, those that had rule. All right, but verse 2. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. Basically, those winds, all right, this verse goes into the nations, all right, being subject to that Roman authority. Verse 3, and I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. Yeah, because what made them little feathers and small? Because of the length of their rulership. All right. Verse 4, It reads, but her heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Verse 5, moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers, and rain upon the earth, and over them that dwelt therein. All right, verse 6. This is just going into the Roman Empire dominance. All right, it was dominant. Okay, and the second Esdras chapter 11 isn't the only verse. Let me grab second Esdras Daniel chapter 7. All right, because this is not the only chapter, all right, or that the Roman Empire is spoken about. This is Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7. Am I tripping? The first, the second. All right. Yep. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. It reads, after this I saw in the night visions, behold, a fourth beast. So like I mentioned before, those empires earlier within this video, all right, the first being that Babylonian Empire, the second beast being the Medo-Persian Empire, the third beast, all right, like a leopard, being the Greek Empire, and this fourth is going into the Roman Empire. Verse 7, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible. Why is it dreadful and terrible? Because of the military might. It says, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. Yeah, that goes into that military might, their capabilities, their influence, their power. It says it devoured and brake in pieces. It stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. All right. Yeah, which the Roman Empire was a great iron teeth. All right. And today, all right, it's coming America in this beast system with NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, all right, and the European Union with the alliances of these Edomite governments. Okay. It's coming in that same spirit as the Roman Empire, all right, through that republic, through that system, all right, and through the laws and legislation, okay. So second Esdras chapter 11, just wanted to bring that out with Daniel chapter 7, just to prove and show these books within the Holy Bible, they link together, they correlate together, all right, they back up each other, all right. The Lord is not the author of confusion, okay. So second Esdras chapter 11. And it truly backs up Daniel chapter 7, backs up second Esdras chapter 11. So this second Esdras chapter 11 verse 6. And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon the earth. That's the dominance of the Roman Empire. Okay, it proved, or it showed. Let me get that. This point here, it says which was around 33% of the world's population. They had dominance, man. All right. This Pax Romania, that Roman rule, that Roman peace, all right, that 200-year long period, okay, of this golden age. It was like the prime. It was at its apex, okay. But continuing on, second Esdras chapter 11, verse 7. It said, and I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose upon her talons, and spake to her feathers, saying, watch not all at once, sleep everyone in his own place, and watch by course. Okay, so yeah, it was ordained, and for prophecy's sake, one was they weren't to rule all at once, one after another. Okay, Augustus ruled, Tiberius ruled. You know, it was one Caesar after another, not all at once, not at the same time. Okay, it says verse 9, but let the heads be preserved for the last. Okay, so that's truly, I think that'll truly cover the point. I wanted to, what, also be a cut to that ideology of this of attempting to show that this is referring to the American presidents. Hey, it was different lengths of rule. All right, the presidents of the United States of America is usually 4 years, usually 8 years. All right, usually that same period. But it wasn't that case with the 12 feather wings. It wasn't that case. It wasn't that. All right. Once some Caesars had a longer rule. All right, and who had the longest was Augustus. All right. Well, since they go, I guess they'll show. So yeah, you see Augustus had about 41-year rule. Tiberius, almost 20 years. All right. But Augustus, I think, had the longest rule. All right, Caligula, 4 years. Claudius, all right, about 13 years. Nero, okay, 14. Galba, close to 1. Otho, months. Look, 3 months. Vitellius, what's that? 8 months. Vespasian, 10 years. Is that 10 years? Okay. Titus, 2 years. Domitian, about 15 years, but none reached up to the point that Augustus had about 40 41 42 years. Okay, so this shows, or this backs up the point of verse 3, how they became, some were little feathers and small because of the length of their rulership, the length of their period to rule. Okay, then the Lord had them were taken out because prophecy was to be fulfilled. These words are written before they took place. All right, these things were written for aforetime, for our learning. Okay, so let me end it off with that. Romans chapter 15. Okay, Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So the Lord already prophesied of the Roman Empire being brought up and taking it down. The same likewise with this American empire, with this beast system being brought up and will be taken down in these last days as well. All right, this backs up the validity and credibility of the scriptures, of the Holy Bible. You know, that's what makes it. That's what makes prophecy, which would in this case, in this chapter, is now history. That's what makes it so important, because no other book has this. You know, now of course the so-called white man and Edomites, they have these records, they have this history. Of course, you see it's here on Wikipedia for us to use as backup for the scriptures. You know, but they didn't prophesy. They didn't speak these things before they actually took place. They didn't speak of these 12 feather wings and the 3 heads and the eagle. All right, and then going into the details of the rulership. All right, this backs the scriptures. Hey, this gives, you know, like I mentioned, this gives, you know, all the credibility in the world to the Holy Scriptures and to the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, that ordained all this to take place and predestinated these things to happen. All right. Likewise, the fall of this current system that we're in under the Edomites as well is going to fall as the Roman Empire did, as you know, as it did itself. Okay, so that's the point. Truly, you know, just touching on, you know, what this guy, you know, commenting statement, it was truly inspired the lesson. All right, and Lord willing, it was edifying concerning the 12 Caesars, concerning the point of the Pax Romania, the first triumvirate. All right, and backs up the point and brings out, you know, evidence that that Second Esdras chapter 11 is going into the Roman Empire. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and also encouraging to you sincere believers out there. I will end out by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Repent, Yahweh Shai is coming back. Repent, Yahweh Shai is coming back. All right, Shalom. Keep the faith. Shalom.